now. So, excuse how dark the screen is right now. Okay, because it's dark where I'm at. It's dark outside. But I wanted to come and do this video and use yet another situation as a teachable moment. Okay? But before we get into all that, I just want to say that because of all of this alleged, you know, let me let this go by loud. Okay, so because of all of this alleged spell work, the spell work that has been done more recently, and the practitioners um, city I was in and left, those practitioners literally like threw in the towel. And so because of that, some of the enemies that had hired these had to come and like face me, or they had to come in the vicinity that I was at previously. And so it was quite interesting to see. I I just got to give a shout out and give credit where credit is due. I actually have some fine ass enemies. Yeah, I'm talking about fine, fine enemies. Okay, I'm talking about looks wise, right? However, I don't know how many of them are gay, and then, but what I do know is that a lot of them are warlocks themselves, or they are demonically possessed. I was thinking, I was like, you know, how I was gonna say that, but the spirit was like how I had said it in my head. The spirit was like, just say it. And that's what that car horn honks right now. That was hella funny. Okay, so anyways, with that, with all that being said, obviously I've stated that I'm in a new place, okay, in a new city. But if you go back to my previous lives, you will see that I was traveling around. In one of my previous lives, I stated that I was traveling around and I had been guided to these various places to dismantle spell work. So the place that I'm actually in now, there has been like a situation that's come up that, I mean, it's not so like, how do I say, it's not like huge or anything, but I wanted to break it down physically and use that physical breakdown and then share with you guys what has been in the, I guess you could say, the new spiritual news of what the spell work has been more recently. So we're going into, from what I've heard, a new moon. Okay, new moons are for manifest. I guess confirmation with the beeping in the background. So new moons are great for manifesting, and because many of the true chosen ones are actually having breakthroughs or on the verge of breaking through, right, to their new levels and what have you. hold on one second. Okay, I was just gonna remind you that I have a cat right here. He's like, okay. So, anyways, at the verge of breakthroughs, and what I have stated in previous videos is that the closer you get, like, it's the more ramped up the attacks will get. Okay, so of course, a lot of us are going through what I called in two other videos rapid fire spell work, rapid fire attacks, right? And so these people are going to the drawing board and they're attempting to have these, like, what would you call them? Not brainstorming. Um, Anyways, there's a term for what I'm thinking about, but it escapes me right now. But it, like a masterminds group, or anyways, it's basically like, where they get together and they, throw out ideas and try to come up with a game plan or whatever, strategize. And so, like, that's, what I know they have been doing. And so, at least in my case, I'm absolutely positive of it. So the more recent situations have been, and I'm not going to do them in, like, the actual, like, any particular order, but I'm going to say it in a way that you guys can actually see how it relates to what has been put out, like, for the spell work. Actually, let me just tell you what the spell work has been, and then I'll tell you what, like, the situation. Okay. So we'll do it that way, because I think it will make more sense to you guys. Okay. So more recently, it has still been much of the same. Okay. There has been a lot of, so first I was seeing a lot of, like, within the spell work, broken eggs, which the eggs represent new life. Eggs represent, uh, rebirth. Eggs represent um, new beginnings, and it's a lot of, it has a lot of new energy. Okay, it has, like, creation coming to fruition. Okay, if you will. And so, anyways, I was seeing a lot of those, you know, in various locations, and accompanied with that was so many different, like, variations of spell work. Okay, but at one place it had, like, oh, excuse me, oh, okay, it had cups that were acting as, like, I guess you could say, like a trap, but they were positioned in such a way to, like, catch. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me over this loud noise. It was positioned in such a way to catch energy. Okay. And so, I'm trying to think. Excuse me, I'm a little bit tired right now. But there is, I'm not really tired. It's more of a sleepy spell that was attempting to be, like, cast or whatever. before I even started this video, so I wouldn't start it. And so um, it's gotten uh, like I still started the video, but I'm still feeling like they're they're attempting to like keep throwing this like sleepiness or whatever, sleepy spells. But anyways, um, should have wrote down like all the different items, but there was a lot of glass, which is supposed to like be. It's kind of hard to explain the glass, but it's like an I don't want to say an attack, but like more of it is an attack. It is an attack, but it's like how do I explain this? It's more of like the ill will that's being intended in whatever it is. It's supposed to be like the weapon of like the ill will to carry it through, I guess you could say, right? The glass is representing like a energetic force of like evilness, of like attack or weaponry. Yeah. So, anyways, so that was more of like a previous location. So once I had arrived at this location, the attacks pretty much started immediately. But I want to fast forward past the initial attacks or whatever uh, for spell work, and I may come back to them in another live. But on this live, I specifically wanted to speak on another coffee shop that's not Starbucks, but um, this this alleged, coffee shop. Um, I had been passing by it and not going into it. And when I would pass by it, I would feel this like strong negativity. Like I would feel not just a negativity, like their demonic presence, okay? And so I didn't go in, and then one day I actually like went in. And as soon as I went in to this place, I'm talking about as soon as I crossed the threshold of the door, it was like energetic attack. Like in my mind's eye, I seen three energetic beings that all like wanted to fight me at the same time upon entry. And so it really didn't get like, how do I say? So the initial attack of like being bombarded with uh, those entities, if you will, or whatever whatever they whatever they want to be called, or whatever you want to call them. Once they were defeated, it was like multiple different people were coming in, and it was like new battles every last thing with I won't say every last single one of them, but quite a few. So not only am I literally like working on what I have to accomplish, like for the projects that I'm working on, and you know the other things that I'm not at liberty to discuss and make you guys privy to as of yet, but like I'm literally fighting these spiritual attacks just from being in a space and place, and then also having to work while fighting, like damn near constantly the whole time I was in there. Okay, and so I say all that to say this: there has there was a woman that I ended up having to call them people on, right, the other day, and when she like seen me, I guess just like being myself and actually like uh, I'm gonna wait for this loud noise to go by. And living in my authenticity, and you know giving out my YouTube channels and my activity ebook, and just like interacting with various different people. I did not originally realize and know that one of the individuals that had children or whatever, three, I think she has three children. I had given this lady, my YouTube channels, including Nieve Tigres, and I'm pretty sure I gave her the activity ebook. But this this homeless woman, right, Caucasian, which I'm not sure if she's actually homeless or not, but she acts like she is, and she tries to be in the streets like she is. But I'm I'll say that later. Anyways, I'll come back to that. But she started this Caucasian woman started slandering and defaming my good character to this melanated woman who had three children that I had already built a good rapport with. Now, what's important about that is that there were two, actually three, well, god dang, there there was three, I guess you could say, parts of a spell work that had been done in front of two businesses, and one being that coffee shop that's not Starbucks, okay? And so the spell work was for the coffee shop. The spell work was for another business that's actually like right next to it, or like actually one business down from it. And then also there was spell work that was done for the actual young lady, the melanated sister with the three children. Now, there was spell work that was done for confusion, illusions. There was spell work done for me, not, or my ancestors or guardian angels, and things like that, not to be able to like spiritually go after any like crimes or whatever, so it was like like they had spell work from me not to be able to like fight back or harm them when they're attempting to harm me and like fight me, if that makes sense. Like, so they're doing spell work, they're doing all this sabotage behind the scenes with slander and defaming my great character, right? And part of the spell work is actually to keep me from being it was created to keep me from being able to defend myself, to get justice, and to be able to fight back, like spiritually, physically, whatever the case is. There were also like spells to block my intuition and my spiritual sight. But when I'm saying these things about what I'm seeing in the spell work, just realize that they're not doing these spells just for myself, and most of the chosen ones and high vibrational beings are all experiencing these same uh, attacks and you know witchcraft spell work and stuff being created to go against them as well, because we usually are very, if you're a true chosen one, you are in sync with the other chosen ones. And what's odd and weird, like I find it very weird and strange that this Caucasian lady that I'm talking about in this story, she actually claims to be a chosen one, but very negative, very low vibing for the most part. And so it's just like, and definitely not in sync with me. So I'm just like, no, that don't, it's not like, the math ain't mathing for her to be a chosen one. And then this chick like totally like disrespected me or attempted to disrespect me, um, and that's why I had to call the people on her, because she was attempting to do drugs in the vicinity of where I was at. And at first, she was upwind of me, meaning that I was not able to, like, the wind was blowing her drug smoke away from my kitty baby and Nieva Tigre and I. And then she, like, was attempting to, like, use, like, these specific things that she knew, because I had already asked her if she was going to smoke or whatever. And I was just talking about cigarettes, but then she pulled out drugs or whatever. I was like, if you're going to smoke, like, if she would do that somewhere else. She was literally smoking under a no smoking sign, like legitimate, like literally smoking under a no smoking sign. But I didn't, like, even though she started doing whatever she was doing, I really wasn't like so concerned about it, because I was working on other things, like when I was like, you know, in the proximity of her anyways, which I was at this location before she had actually showed up. So, and started doing all this stuff, right? So anyways, I'm not hold on, I'm gonna wait till the loud noise passes. So I wasn't really concerned until, baby, until she went purposely to the other side of me. So now I'm downwind, and that smoke is gonna blow into all my stuff. Okay, so it was just like absolutely Absolutely not. Okay. So, anyways, getting back to the story. So, she was claiming things that are very demonic and low vibrational. Okay. To pick at me or trigger me, you know, she comes back to an area that do the same thing. But today, it was more like utilizing other people at specific time frames, which seemed very orchestrated. It was very rehearsed, and it was very strategic based off of the people that were around in the vicinity that they were attempting to put this show on for, to then make me look, uh, attempt to have me appear in a certain type of light. Okay. So she comes first, and she attempts to get into, an argument with me. I squash it and shut the shit down. But then the young lady with the three children, the melanated sister, comes, and they're talking, and I had, you know, noticed that prior to knowing that, these two were connected in any way, like the young lady with the melanated sister with the three children, she had, uh, seemed like we had like great rapport the first few times that we interacted, and then all of a sudden she switched up and she was like, like, how do I say it? Like she was acting like there was something that she was upset about, and that she was like, not just upset about, but she was like bothered, and but wasn't coming to me with what the issue was, and attempting to make it known that there was a problem, but not like woman up and actually bring it to me, whatever the issue was, so that we could, you know, actually deal with the situation as adults, right? And so, yeah, she passed by me a few times, quite like at least 3 or 4 times, with this like weird ass energy. And so I was like, I know there's something wrong, but I didn't know where it was coming from. So today, when the two started speaking, I was like, oh, okay, that's where it's coming from, right? And so, anyways, with that being said, as soon as the two like started talking, and I realized that that woman had basically, defamed and slandered me to this other melanated woman, the spell work that I had been seeing but had not fully dismantled, right? I had just started dismantling it earlier, before this had happened, but I hadn't dismantled it all the way. And one of the key things that was within this spell work was like, a Q-tip. And so that is to block people's hearing and ability to understand and be in a receptive mode for what, is being stated to them. Okay, so like this Caucasian woman was acting like she's trying to get this woman to like call some people to like have me physically harmed or something, right? And so I'm just like, peeping all this stuff, but also they don't realize that I can see exactly what the spell work says, right? And so I'm like, okay, so not only did this Caucasian woman, along with other races, okay, because there was some Mexicans involved, some Asians involved, definitely some melanated people involved with this spell work, okay? So it wasn't just this Caucasian alone. However, this Caucasian woman was definitely hired and working for at least three Caucasian men, okay? And so, like, and I know that because they passed by, and at that point in time, when they passed by, it was before this situation had like played out with the melanated sister, and these Caucasian guys like literally signaled to her, and she signaled back to them, and they were just like basically, how do I say it? So they were signaling in a way that I knew that she was working for them. Okay, that I mean, it was very clear that she was working for them, and so I literally, hold on, I literally stated it out loud. I literally stated it out loud for her to hear. But anyways, the point is not only did they have like three segments of spell work in front of two businesses. Well, actually, it's in front of three businesses. But I realized that not only was the slander and defamation of my great character like a part of the spell work, because speaking poorly on people when it's not true or whatever, it's still it, spelling. It's still spell work. It's still witchcraft, right? Gossiping or whatever. It's still spell work. So outside of that, I realized that there was another uh, spell casting and spell work that was done specifically on this melanated sister with the three children. So, like, there was all this spell work along the actual street, but then, and some of it did deal with her, okay, but there was, outside of that, there was, wherever they did it at, there was other spell work that was conjured and cast on this chick, okay, specifically for this situation. Like, spirit was basically like letting me know she's resonating with this Caucasian woman because she's also demonically possessed, okay, and basically not to be trusted. But when this all went down and the young lady had, rolled the baby stroller off with her three children or whatever, I was just like, young lady, you shouldn't just believe what one individual has to say. and not actually like hear the other side of the story from the other individual, right? And she was like, "Oh, you don't have to explain to me, da 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 da." And anyway, she was like telling the Caucasian chick, "Oh, you want me to do it? You want me to do it?" And then she got on, and the Caucasian woman was like, "Yeah." And she was like on her phone, and she started buddy her Texas buddy. So anyway, I actually took a picture of this Caucasian lady. Was like, "Baby, I'm gonna put you on my YouTube channel, okay?" And then, oh girl, don't want me to get her photo, but she wanted to be able to report me with her phone. That being said, the moral of the story is that the young lady with the three children, honestly, now that when I'm telling this story and I'm thinking about it, I had this thought earlier as well, and it came back around. Is that it seemed like she could be on the payroll too, because this whole thing was definitely orchestrated, and the way that it was orchestrated, it was like very timely when specific people had come into this specific area where we're at. So it's almost like they was trying to put on a front and a show, I guess make me look some kind of way in front of these other people that I didn't even know, you know. But anyways, they had done like that spell work on dismantled. There was a couple of different uh, groups of Mexicans that came through the muscles to come do something, but when they looked ahead, it just rolled the fuck off. Like confirmation with with the fucking with the motorcycle that just passed by with his engine all red. Like, yeah, they looked at me, and it was like they realized who I am, and then when they rolled off, they went and told one of their like higher up practitioners or whatever, and that Mexican lady came through here to verify if what they were seeing and what they were thinking was right, and she had rolled through the street and seen me, and she looked like she wanted to fucking cry. Like, she was like, "Oh shit, we done fucked up. Like, we should not have attacked this woman. We should not have been." The energy was like, so I don't know if informed. I don't think she was informed properly before with whole shenanigans, because she was, which, because I'm telling you, when she rolled by and seen me, baby, she looked me dead in my eyeballs, and she was like, her whole face was like, like, like damn near ready to sob. Like, I could feel the energy. I'm an empath, you know. I feel energy hella strong. And not only did I feel her energy, but it was all over her face. Like, baby, it was all over her face. Okay? So, anyways, but that was just like I said, one group or whatever. But either way, I just wanted to come to tell you guys like the situation, but not so much the situation by itself, the situation with how the spell work linked to the situation, right? One of the main freaking things I was totally not, um, I wanted to touch on this, like, before I even started the video. And see, like, uh, sent to me, almost had in this spell work that was along the street or whatever, in front of these three businesses, uh, two main businesses. They were also they were trying to come after my star. They were, so, obviously, yeah, all that shit had to get dismantled, right? And so it's dismantled, and motherfuckers was walking by, rolling by, mad as fuck. Not my problem. It's not my problem. So first and foremost, they didn't know I could see this shit. Number one. Two, they definitely were not expecting me to fight back, because first of all, I wasn't supposed to be able to see it. So how was I supposed to fight back? And they did spell work for me not to be able to see it. They did spell work for me to be confused. They attempted to give me poison motherfucking food and drink. So I was, they all, let me just say this too. They had been sending uh, demons to try attempt to attach to me. They had sent these entities to attempt to attach to me. So it was supposed to be so many different levels and folds to it. So demonic possession mixed with poisoning, mixed with confusion and illusion. I mean, this shit was supposed to be, how do you say, ironclad. You hear the horn in the background? Did you hear the horn in the background? I'm telling you, this, Nieve, kitty baby, hold on. This ish was supposed to be so layered that it was supposed to be like air fucking tight. But every fucking level, I dismantled this shit. Okay? Every level, every aspect of it has been dismantled. But the thing is that it was supposed to be so layered that, like, it was supposed to be hopeless. There we go. It was supposed to be utterly hopeless, and so much that there was not supposed to be a way for me to be talking to y'all. Okay, number one. But for me to be in my right mind, and I'm gonna tell you this too, they had the motherfucking fire department rolling by, rolling by, rolling by, because it was like they was waiting for me to be under this bullshit too. Like they was like already they had all these hands on deck. Everybody was fucking ready for this shit to take effect. I mean, this is some sick ass shit, especially for somebody that's done nothing to these bitches. Nothing, absolutely nothing to these bitches. I mean, just imagine you've done nothing to somebody, but these motherfuckers want you to be the lowest of the low. They don't want you to have shit. They don't want you to be shit. While you are talented, while you are gifted, while you are a star, you know what I'm saying? While you are anointed, while you already fucking helped so many people in your life and you continue to do it, while you are high vibrational. I mean, this is some sick ass shit. They gotta be so fucking evil and heartless and wicked to even be able to concoct some bullshit like this in their motherfucking minds and hearts, to even think about something like this, to try to do it. Like, you gotta be some kind of something. Like I don't even know what to call it. This is like beyond diabolical evil, you know, that these mofos could like attempt to like make all these different layers and levels of wickedness to attempt to affect somebody that ain't did shit to them and that also is so like loving and helpful and nurturing and gifted, right? Like, makes the shit make sense. The math ain't mathing. Except for these motherfuckers is evil. And what I seen in somebody else's video is you ain't gotta do shit to these wicked motherfuckers for them to wanna, feel some type of way. Cause you being authentic, you living in your truth, you being a truth seeker and a truth speaker, it already irritates they demons. It already makes them feel some kind of way because you are a mirror to what they have not accomplished, to what they have not healed within themselves, which they have not faced whatever demon or shadow, right? Because they talk about the shadow self, right? That they have been running from, that they have been drugging or, self medicating to stay away from, that they keep themselves busy so they don't have to face themselves. You know, all these things. You are a slap in the fucking face of these demons, and they don't know what to do with themselves but attack you. But baby, I'm gonna send them somewhere worse than purgatory, okay? I'm gonna send them somewhere worse than fucking hell. Because, a lot of them are already in a self-made type of hell anyway. They're miserable. And the saying that misery loves company. Baby, I'm going to leave them lonely. Because I'm still going to be fly. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be not only just authentic, but high vibrational. So I'm gonna tell you, like the old people used to say back in the day, they can miss me with all that shit. They can miss me with all that. They can miss me with all that bullshit. Okay? Yeah. All of it. Absolutely all of it. With that being said, I'm not gonna, as they say, run it up. I apologize for the screen being so dark, but it's just dark where I'm at. I wanted to get this message out so you guys can have an update to what the actual spellwork news is for what is more recent, because I haven't done a spellwork news in a while because I've been busy. I've been busy. So while these mofos is doing this, I still been working and executing things that I will be sharing with you guys, very shortly. Some of the things that I have accomplished while these haters have been hating. Oh, they're gonna be so mad to know what I've already accomplished. Baby, they mad now and they don't even fucking know what I've been doing. So imagine when I tell them what I've already accomplished. Oh, the man. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm not gonna, as they say, run it up. If you need anything else from me, you can find it in the description, like my 3 websites, my activity ebook, Nieve Tigre's YouTube channel. You can always support this channel by uh, hitting up my Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, or you can buy me a coffee, right? You know, coffees are nice, you know. Confirmation with the horn and the beep in the background. So, If financial means do not allow for any of that, then I'll let this go by. Hold on, because I absolutely do not know if y'all be able to hear me over that. If financial means do not allow for any of those things, then you can always for free FREE 99 like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and newly hype it up. Hype the video up. If you are just getting to this video, I have said a whole lot, and I would definitely suggest you go all the way back to the beginning. It kind of starts off, I would say, a little bit slow because I have to, give the back story for and underlying like information for everything to make sense as I build. But it's definitely worth watching because this is what is going on right now as we go into the new moon, which is bringing in the chosen ones and the high vibrational beings manifestations. Okay, and so my advice is for all the high vibrational beings to really buckle down, stay focused. Do not let these weirdos get you out of your vibration because they are really trying super hard not only to feed themselves energetically, but to have you in a different frequency, a lower frequency vibration and energy, so that you are not in alignment with what you are manifesting. Don't let them do it. Hold on, I gotta let this go by because it's loud. It's so loud. So, anyways, do not let them do it. That also applies to the divine unions and things that are also coming in because that is what some of the high vibrational beings are in alignment for and manifesting as well. Okay, so these mofos is working overtime. Like I said, it's rapid fire spell work and attacks. But that just means, we're at that point where Neo was in the Matrix and you are literally fighting all these Agent Smiths. That's it. We're right at the cusp, at that point of where Neo, like, literally jumps into the agent and blows his ass up. Like, we're right there. Like, we are right there. So this shit is almost over. Like I've been saying, it's we're so close. Okay, so everybody is on different timelines. So it already happened in some timelines, and it is happening now in this timeline, and it will happen a little while later in some of the other timelines. But a lot of these timelines too are starting to overlap, and people are seeing this in real time, like the overlapping and what that overlapping is doing. Okay, like people having multiple things of the same item, but one is from another timeline and another is from, the other timeline. I mean, like two pins, two of the same pin, two of the same shirts, two of the same jackets, when they only had one, but it's because they have overlapping timelines that they're having multiple of the same things. Things being moved, things being misplaced, but it's you're jumping time, you're transitioning through different timelines very fast. Anyways, that I'm gonna leave for a different video. But go back and watch this video because it has to do with what's it's a oh god, these things are coming by so fast right now. Hold on, I don't know if you guys can hear me over those, so I don't want to speak and then you guys can't hear what I'm saying. So go back because it is a teachable moment from something that I just recently went through, but also breaking down what the spiritual spell work and news is currently, what we're dealing with. Okay, all right, with that being said, tea.